Hello Leo, welcome. This is Love in the Full Moon. This is a general reading for all Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs in some kind of a relationship. So take what works, leave what doesn't. The message is for whoever needs to hear it. And we all know who we are in the story. So, dear Leo, what messages does the universe have for our Leos in love for this full moon, dear universe? Looking for messages for the greatest and highest good for all Leos. Some of you are recovering from a loss of heartbreak, and I think you might be going out, celebrating, maybe going out with your friends more. That's good. That's very good and very healthy for a Leo. Alright, dear universe, messages for all of our Leos in love, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for this full moon of November, dear universe. I'm so grateful for the messages. Alright, so some of you, Leos, I think had an idea, the side note, because these cards totally flipped over. I think you guys had an idea, a really great idea, and it's not working. I think, for me, you just need to work at it just a little more. So for whoever needed to hear that, there's a message. All right, let's see. What's the overall energy for our Leos for this full moon in love, dear universe? Overall energies for our Leos in love. Burden. Yeah, I was starting to feel some real frustration. So it's like you feel like you're carrying a real load with this relationship. Maybe something within it is not balanced. Maybe you feel like you have to do everything yourself. Whatever it is, it's like you feel alone in it, and I think you're just waiting for some relief. Now the other thing is that you may be needing a little bit of help, and you don't know really where to go. But I do see that maybe quite possibly you find somebody in your life who might be a Libra. Maybe they help you out. But I do see that that's something that you finally, I think, acknowledge that you know you need is some help with a relationship that you're involved in. I think you've tried very hard to make a relationship work and it hasn't worked. And I think you see that it's time to put an end to it and to really move on from it. Maybe that's what is weighing on you, is you need a little help conveying that message to your person, because maybe that's how you're feeling and you just haven't yet expressed that to them. Although, listen, I'm sure that the energy of the home has already mentioned that. But for others of you, if you've been needing a loan or something, I feel like you do get that. This Ace of Pentacles kind of opens the door of opportunities. It's like you're given an offer, Leo, and I think you don't know whether or not you really should take it. I think it might be a good offer, but it would mean relocating, moving. It's something that I'm not sure you're really able to sit with just yet, because I think it would be a big move. So you're really sitting on the fence with that one. You know, for others, maybe you are traveling. You have an opportunity to travel and you're not sure whether or not or maybe you should have taken it and you didn't take it. But I see that you went somewhere. Maybe it wasn't where you thought it was going to go, but I think there's an opportunity. And again, the money thing, I do feel like if there's been something that's been really financial burden or hardship, I do feel like you do get, you know, whatever that money is, so that you can, you know, start to move ahead and kind of put that to the side. All right, what's your present situation, dear universe, for our Leos? See, at the very beginning of this reading, these two cards came out. The Page of Pentacles. What was it? The Page of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Then over here, this Three of Pentacles reversed. I feel like whatever it is you're working on, it's just not finished. Okay, so go back, start back at square one. There's a missing piece before everything can move on. So for whoever's working on something major, and I feel like this is like a really big deal, whatever it is you're working on, there's just a missing piece. It's just not time to put it out there yet. So just keep that in mind. Now, also in your present, I feel like your boss has been giving you a hard time, and I think it's something that, this new offer might put some relief on all of that. But I feel like you know what you need to do with whatever the project is that's not working. Maybe your boss is just not happy that, the project isn't where it is. I know this is supposed to be a love reading, but this is what's coming out. The Hierophant with the High Priestess, I feel like, the two of you as a couple in this story, I think it's almost like the decision between you and your work really gets in the way of what you're supposed to do. This High Priestess, I mean, she knows everything. The Hierophant, listen, he's no fool either. And this King of Swords, I mean, they're totally in control of what's going on. So your intuition, I think, knows what's going on in this project. And I almost feel like it's time for you to really address the issue at hand. I don't know what this is about, but it's a big deal. And it keeps coming up, and it doesn't seem to want to leave the storyline. So whoever is at work, you better cover your ass and check it out what it is, especially if this is a really big project that you've been working on. Because I feel like somebody's been sneaking around trying to manipulate what it is that you've been doing. And I know that's a really ugly energy, but this world has some cutthroat people in it. So not everybody who's around you is your friend. All right, Leo, this is not for everybody. But I feel like you, Leo, have been trying to really balance a lot of things in your life. Some of you, this money thing that you've been dealing with, maybe you've had to pick up a second job. Maybe it's not something you really like to do, but you feel like you have no other options to do it. I do get the sense that you, Leo, are avoiding somebody in your circle. This could be somebody who you and them got into a fight in the past, and you're just trying to stay away from causing any rifts, or I don't know. I just feel that you're avoiding them for some reason. Now, this Knight of Swords with the Two of Pentacles, like I said, I feel like you had to really get aggressive in finding some kind of balance to take care of your finances and things that are going on at home. But I also wonder whether or not there's somebody who's around you who, they might be very aggressive towards you. Like you're just trying to do your job. And again, this deception with somebody in your workplace, they, just kind of, check in with everybody, who sits down at their cubicle. I mean, is this person, are they really short and snappy? Do you get like this really weird vibe from them? There's somebody in your circle who really does not like you. So just keep that in mind. All right. What's above you here? So as far as relationship, the crux of it is, how heavy this feels. But I feel like you're getting everything together. I think you're smart, Leo. You know what's up. You know how to maneuver around life, and you know how to make connections. And I feel that's what you start doing, is making connections. It's like, you want a miracle? Sure, why not? And I think you manifest a miracle out of this whole situation at work. Because you work hard. And it's like you work too hard to have somebody in the workplace, somebody in your circle, take that away from you. So I feel like if your intuition is telling you something about somebody, you really need to listen to that. All right, we don't have a lot of love cards here, universe. Well, I think this is more important. This is bigger than your love life right now, Leo. All right, Knight of Wands with the Page of Pentacles on the issue of a love note. Okay, I feel like you, Leo, you know, there's a part of you that just really wants your freedom to be able to do your work, you know, and I think sometimes, and you may be involved with an earth sign, somebody who, you know, wants things to be really stable with you, but there's something about them that really bothers you. Like you don't feel like they understand. I just get the feeling like you and this person don't have the same values, you know, and that can be on many different levels, especially when it comes to money. I feel like the person you are with doesn't understand the whole value of the dollar. They spend and spend and spend. They think that keeping the electric on, you know, like then nobody pays the bill just automatically gets paid. I mean, they're very irresponsible in their own sense of money when it comes to how they pay bills and take care of bills. And I think that's a problem between the two of you. And I do see you turning around and, you know, things starting to turn. Here you are. You end up single. Whoever this one is, if you're with somebody, you know, you focus more on what's going on at work than you do with what's going on at home. That's why this reading is reading more about work than what's going on at home, because, you know, you might have somebody waiting at home for you. But again, you know, it's almost like you're going out with a kid. You know, you get up, go to work every day, you do your job, you do what you're supposed to do, you know, and then you come home. And it's like, I feel like you're done with all of that. You want something new, something fresh, something different. And I think what I see you doing is just going back into your own space. I feel like once you deal with this heavy burden of finances that you feel very trapped in, and something comes in, I think that will really help move that into place. I think that's when you start to make some really solid decisions about whether or not you want to continue this relationship or move on your own. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I see. All right, what else do we have for our Leos at this time for this full moon reading regarding the spread, our Leos in love? So there's something you want to see come to an end. And I feel like this relationship, that it may be one of these things that financially this has been such a burden to have this person, because they're always going to want you to carry them. Because like I said, I feel like you know, you were going out with a child, not a grown up, in the sense of taking the responsibilities of life and the bills and, you know, mowing the lawn and taking the trash out. Like this person, they just weren't there with you. So I feel like something comes to an end. Yeah, this need to cut somebody out of their lives. Because again, Leo, you know, this is like Cancer. I feel like you need to end a cycle that is not really healing for you. And here, this whole line of cards with the Hierophant and the High Priestess is like your spirit. Everything in you is telling you what to do. And you do have an out. And I do see you finding your strength again. And things start to turn. But they turn and you're on your own at that point. All right, what else do we have for our Leos? Our Leos in love. Advice for our Leos in love. Dear universe. Leos in love. But, you know, there's an offer that comes to you. I feel like somebody else approaches you and wants to take you out, go out with you. And I almost feel like you come off like, no, I think I'm okay. I'm good. You know, there's almost like this recharging of your own, you know, energy, your own values. Because this is now about you again. Alright, dear universe, what messages do you have for our Leos regarding this spread, our Leos in love? So it is about opening up. It's about, you know, you standing in your power, opening up. Things have not been fair in the past. And this issue that you are contending with now, this financial burden that you've been left with, that's coming to an end. All right. I see that here with the Death card. You know, I see it because this offer comes in. I see somebody giving you whatever it is that you need so that you can not be so trapped and feeling alone in this situation anymore. Because you do come into your own and you can't feel guilty about that. I think from here on out, you will always remain guarded and not put yourself back in this situation with somebody where you become their caretaker and more their mom or their dad. Because when you're in a relationship where you become their mother rather than their lover, you know, it just gets to be one of these really codependent relationships that is not really healthy for intimacy. All right, so I feel like that's what this relationship was very much running towards, is like you were going out with your mother or your father. All right, anything else for our Leos at this time for this reading? Anything else? Yeah, and again, we have this 10 of Wands. So you're worried and, you know, you don't know what to do. And like this has been really, really heavy for you. But again, I feel like it's going to all come to an end here. You're going to get the help that you need to get you out of this situation. And like I said, I feel like you won't do that twice. Again, here is this offer. So something is coming. Just be patient. Okay, be patient because everything's about to turn for you in a good way. So that was a real message for you, Leo, whoever it is that needed to hear this. Again, my apologies. It wasn't too much of a love relationship, but I think that it was in its own way. So we'll leave it at that. Messages are for whoever needs to hear them. So if you liked it, I'd appreciate a like, share, comment for being a part of this channel. I'll be doing more readings next week and the following week, loving the new moon, as well as our readings for December. So stay tuned and I'll see you at the next one. Until then, bye Leo.